Welcome back. So today is International Women's Day, and because of that, I am brewing the Pink Boots Blend Pale Ale. So with this Pale Ale, it's going to be really simple, mainly because I just threw it together. I was scrounging around boxes today to find all of my brew equipment. So we have 7 gallons of water here. This is just my tap water. The water is way better at this place. I've got 2 ounces of Pink Boots Blend. That's all we're gonna use. I've got Hibiscus. So we're gonna make this beer pink, and hopefully the Hibiscus flavor works well with the Pink Boots Blend. And a touch of Caramel 10, a pound of Caramel 10, and then 10 pounds of Turo, and that is the entire recipe. We're also going to use the S33 yeast, which is a dry yeast by SafBrew. It is kind of a Belgian-y yeast, but honestly, it's all I got. So we're gonna deal with it. Okay, so I'm going to measure and mill my grain. This is at 159-ish, so I need it to drop down to, I need to drop it down to 155 before I can throw my grain in. I'm gonna do brew in a bag. We're on propane today, so should be relatively quick. I'm gonna start with my 1 pound of Caramel 10. I need a scoop. Oh well. I need a drill. This drill's powerful. Okay, so we're at actually 155, like right on the dot. So our strike temp is 155 Fahrenheit. Our mash temp is going to be around 152. I need some clips. Oh, I need a paddle. I have no idea where my mash paddle is. Ah! This is going to take forever to stir in.
Well, while you're doing that, why don't you talk about your podcast that just launched and episode 2 is out today?
Oh, yeah. So episode 2 is all about beer competitions. We talked to Sandy Cockerham, who on International Women's Day. What am I saying? I haven't had any coffee yet today, I swear. So she is the highest ranking female judge in the US, and I got the pleasure to speak to her about entering homebrew competitions, how to become a judge, all that kind of stuff. And awesome. I cannot speak.
Need more beer.
I need less beer and more caffeine. So I also tell the story of how Pabst Blue Ribbon got their ribbon, and I really enjoyed that story because I love a good con artist story. And this is ready. All right, I'm gonna insulate this and we're gonna let it sit for an hour. All right, it's at 148. Just FYI, mashed at 148. Okay, so our mash is done now. It retained some heat. It's at 140 now. All right, so I don't know where I put my stick, so we're using a baseball bat. So why not? Baseball bat with butyl on it. This is not gonna work. Let's use the most difficult possible way to do this. God dang it. This is annoying. Learn from my mistakes. Don't use a baseball bat. So, this is the brew in the bag method. And what I'm doing currently is getting all the liquid out of my malt in the most asinine way possible. God, this is not a good idea. Today, it's not going my way. There's a lot of liquid left in here. There's truly no way to do this. Well, so I get to sit here now and think about what I've done. I really need a pulley. I don't know how you can help. Yes, I do. Okay, go into my laundry room. In the big cabinet, there is a gray bin, top portion. There is a kind of metal plate with holes in it. That will be literally perfect. Oh no! Cool. All my hard work down the shitter.
This thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not as large as I thought it was. Okay, put it on the ground. Whatever. I'm gonna relight this. It actually works really well. You gotta be creative when you're brewing because stuff like this happens all the time. Alright, so we're gonna bring this up to a boil. I'm gonna take my pre-boil gravity reading once we have most of the liquid out of my baseball bat situation. And then we will brew. For real. Okay, so I'm taking my pre-boil gravity reading. We're at 6 gallons, pretty exactly. So I threw this in my brew father, and it looks like our estimated original gravity is 1.049. So let's see where we got. Ooh, I think I don't know if any of you guys have this problem, but my refractometer constantly becomes diagonal in the line. And I think we're way over, but it's probably because we're only at 6 gallons now. So our pre-boil gravity reading is 17.4. Let's just see what that means. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be way over. Even with all the malt I lost when I was milling. Let's see. I don't even know how to use this anymore. It's been so long. That's 1.074. What the hell am I doing? It's like really high. I'm just too good at this, I guess. What you guys missed was me catching my hair on fire. So, where am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Psst, 1.074. Ridiculous. Apparently we're making a strong pale ale. Our estimated ABV went from 4.9% to 7.2%. Guys, this is the first time I've brewed in like a month and a half. I don't know what's going on. We will see. My boil volume was supposed to be 6.5, so it's actually 6. What I will probably do, and which is a good tip, is that if you overshoot your gravity, you can add water in the end to just level it out to whatever level you want. So I have a feeling that's what we're going to do today, because that is a ridiculous amount of alcohol. All right. Also, can we just look at this? My mash efficiency was 104%. How is that even possible? Stupid. All right. See you guys back here when we boil. Okay, so we have been boiling for 30 minutes already, and we're just under the 6-gallon mark, and it's time for our first edition of hops. This is 1 ounce of the Pink Boots blend by Yakima Chief. So one ounce of the Pink Boots blend at 30 minutes, and then our next one's gonna be at 5 minutes, and it's also gonna be 1 ounce. But we're also going to add 6 ounces of dried hibiscus to it to give it a nice pink twinge. So we'll see you guys back here in 25 minutes. Okay, so we're in our last 5 minutes of the boil, and I'm gonna throw in my Wurfleck tablet to kind of clarify this a little bit. We want our pink to really shine through in this beer. I have 1 ounce of the pink Boots blend I'm adding, so 1 ounce at the 5 minute mark. We also did 1 ounce at the 30 minute mark. So there's that. And the special ingredient today is hibiscus. So we're adding 6 ounces of hibiscus to this. That's a tongue twister. And I'm gonna attempt to get in, no, I'm not even gonna try with that one. I'm gonna grab a different hot bag. All right, so trying to get this into this. We'll see. All right, so that is a lot of hibiscus. This is the same kind of stuff that you put in your tea. Makes all those delicious red teas you get. Celestial Seasonings really got their hibiscus on point, let me tell you. It's already changing color. Ash, you should come get this. Okay, you can see how red this is making. It's like straight up hibiscus tea. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes left, so that is not very much time. So I actually also need to throw in my chiller to sanitize it. Ugh. And this is my beast of a chiller that has spider webs in it, so I gotta wipe that out. Okay, so this does not fully fit with my hop screen in, so I like to put that in and put my hop screen right in the center of it. Okay, and we are sanitizing, we are steeping, we are doing so many things right now. I just don't know what to do with myself. All right, so we're ready to start chilling. I'm gonna turn off my propane and start my chiller. Okay, so Ash, I need you to pan and show them what we're actually doing with all this chilling water. We're literally heating my pool. This is the first time I've done this, and I doubt it'll raise it above 59 degrees, which is what it's been sitting at, but we're gonna try. Another thing I'm gonna do is take my original gravity reading. I know it's hot, but I do think I'm going to need to adjust it. So I rather do it while it's really hot so that the wort has a chance to kind of sanitize the water I add to it. Let's see where we're at. I have a feeling it's going to be bonkers. And Sarah was right, as she occasionally is. All right, listen. First time brewing in a while. Original gravity, 21.8 bricks. Let's just take a gander at what that means. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. Do you remember what I said, 21.8? Take a guess at what that original gravity is. You guys can say it in the comments. Just go for it. It's 1.094. 1.094. That's like a 9% pale ale. What the hell am I doing? All right, so we're definitely gonna add some water, but what I'm gonna do is go into my gravity correction / boil off. So I have a 1.094. I want a, let's see what I want my original gravity to be. I don't remember. So I'm aiming for a, our post-boil gravity was supposed to be 1.053. So let's see how much water we need to add to get it to that point. Volume is, I'm gonna say it's probably around 5, given how much crap I have in there. So we need to add 3.87 gallons. That's insane. I'm not gonna add that much. I am probably gonna add 2 gallons of water. This is gonna take me a minute. All right. So this is 120. There is more than that in a gallon. All right, so we're gonna go from the 5.5 mark to the 7.5 mark. Of course, that's a huge batch now. Mix it around a bit with this guy And then I'm gonna take another reading. We are now at 100 degrees. I'm being so professional today. All right, let's see where that got us. Let's dry it completely. God, I need a new hydrometer or refractometer. All right, so now we are at 13.5 bricks, and that is 1.057. And that's gonna be basically our final gravity. And what we wanted for, or our original gravity, sorry. And what we wanted for original gravity is 1.053. So we're 0.04 over, but that's gonna be fine, honestly. I don't know what's going on. You know, okay, so when I was in Washington and I was brewing for my first time, I kept having this problem. And I think your water source has a ton to do with how efficient your brews are. So, I mean, you guys saw how much malt I spilled as I was milling. So I didn't even get all my malt in. And yet, I overshot by so much. And yeah, like when you're using gas, you boil off more just because you get more of a rolling boil. But still, it's kind of crazy. And guys, I literally moved 13 minutes up the road from where I used to live, and our water source is completely different. It's kind of crazy how much water really affects your brew, and you should always pay attention to it. If you want to get your water tested, I strongly suggest going to Ward Laboratories, and they have a whole Brewers like testing situation, and it'll tell you all the things that you need to know to put into your brewing apps so that you can match your water profile. I haven't done it yet. I actually just got my kit in the mail, and I'm going to send it off. So I'm going to build a whole new water profile for this house and this water source. But again, like, your water source can also change. Like in LA, it's always a thing, like depending on the season, your water source can change. So just keep in mind, like, if your water starts smelling a little chlorine-y where it used to not, just keep in mind that your water source may have changed. So that's my advice. That's all I got. There's a lot of beer in here. Can you tell I'm excited to be done? Okay, so I attached my hose to my kettle already, and I've already sanitized this. This is my Delta fermenter, and I've got to hook up the glycol, but I'll show you guys hooking up the glycol. It's actually relatively simple. I just got to find another hose clamp. But this is all sanitized, all lovely and beautiful. It's been sitting in a crate in my garage for way too long. So we are fermenting with the SafBrew S33. This is a Belgian style yeast, but I'm just kind of throwing together what I have. I accidentally froze this yeast, so I don't know if it's gonna work, but we will see. So the thing about Belgian yeast is they produce a ton of phenols and esters. So I want to minimize that. So the recommended range for this yeast is, it's between 53 and 77, but ideally 59 to 68. So I'm going to ferment it probably at 58 just because there are fluctuations, and I want to keep it as low as possible to reduce the amount of esters and phenols that this produces. Like a little bit I think will be nice because the hibiscus is floral, so having some fruity phenols and esters might be nice, but you know, I'm not going for a Belgian style. I'm going for kind of your standard pale ale, which I also love a Belgian pale. So I don't know, I've just had this sitting in my fridge, so figured we may as well use it. One way to quickly cool down your wort is to actually kind of do a whirlpool situation or to keep stirring it. I'm lazy, I don't do that. I rather fill my pool, it's really low right now. So, yeah, just keep moving it. You know, you don't want all the cold liquid to be right where the chiller is because that kind of defeats the whole purpose. And it chills a lot faster if you keep the wort moving. All right, so this is at 70 and it does not seem to be budging at all, so we're gonna go ahead and transfer it. Everything's all sanitized and good. Just gonna go for it. I think this is the most beer I've ever made in a single batch. This is kind of crazy. We're gonna see what our final level is, but I feel like we may have, oh, I gotta make a blow-off tube too. We're gonna figure out the blow-off tube eventually. I have like half of my hoses in one box and half in another. It's ridiculous. It's nice to use a chiller again. I never thought I would miss them, but like not having to sit around and wait for your beer to cool overnight is kind of great. All right, so I'm gonna pitch my yeast. Literally just dumping it in because I ain't got time for that. All right, sealing this bad boy up. I'm going to attach my sanitized blow-off tube. Just wrap it around. Oh, it's fucking heavy. It's heavy. It's like 7 gallons. This is gonna be a friggin' bomb. Welcome to my brewery that is not done yet in any way or fashion. Hold on, I gotta move the crate of my brewing stuff out of the way for you guys. Literally on a pallet jack. I don't know how to drive a pallet jack, so please bear with me. Okay, so I'm gonna hook up the glycol now. This glycol is not connected to anything. So I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay, so these are glycol lines and they go on here. And there's glycol in them now. So I'm gonna try not to get glycol everywhere. But it's so super simple. It's literally just putting a hose clamp on, not a hose clamp's pretty large. I don't know if that one's gonna work. So the butterfly hose clamps are my favorite because you don't have to use a screwdriver. And screwing on this one. Let's start our glycol. It's as simple as just hitting your temperature and turning it on. So I'm gonna set it at 58, which seems really low to ferment a ale, but we'll see. Try not to kink your lines, people. It is a bad thing. That's why I have these like random tubes on my glycol lines, because you can burn out your motor if you have a kinked line, and it does not sound too hot. So now all I've got to do is squeeze out of this tiny hole and attach my blow off. So I'm just depressurizing my Hudson sprayer and I'm trying to get it apart, but who knows if that's gonna happen. There it is. So this is sanitizer in here. It's just Star San, and that should be enough for a blow off. And ta-da, we made beer. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'm obviously a little bit more cleaned up and here to tell you, if you want my videos, early bonus content, especially bonus content from the podcast, join the Patreon. Also, my podcast is called Brewing After Hours with Sarah Flora, so go ahead and subscribe to that. Like and subscribe this video if you liked it. And I want to give a big shout out to my latest patron, Kenny Gorman. Thanks so much for your support. I will see you all next time. This is a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, also just for filming, not good. So, like, yeah. I didn't realize this was the situation.
It's bad.
Well, you should have told me the real situation.
Thought I did.